Hey, we're back with Control, episode 36. I was going to head back and do the whole brother plot line, but I figured I should probably put that near the end because it's a long cutscene, right? So we'll just let that run at the end of this episode. And instead we're going to proceed downstairs from where we just were because there's this big empty room, and it's really an interesting one. There's a lot to talk about here. And first off, let's talk about the room itself. It's got these orange box machines. Now, I am on record as not liking these orange box machines, but that's the funny thing. I like them here because I can see the machinery. Normally, when these get put in rooms, you just see them from, like, here, and it's just like an orange box. It's strange that there are several different versions of the orange box machines, and so far, in all of the places where we actually have to walk, they've used the crappy version. What a strange situation. This is one of those side rooms. This game is full of side rooms that you'll never really visit. I'd bet that maybe less than a third of the players who've come through this area have even realized that there is a room down here. And this is the other surprise. Monster in a box. This is an unusual situation because it's the only time so far where a treasure chest has held anything besides treasure. And it's worth noting that this is a hell of a monster closet. So you know how I sometimes get on this game's case about having too many monsters? I figure you might want to know what that's actually like to live through if you haven't played this game, and you're sort of wondering what too many monsters might be like. And you might notice that I am having a really hard time throwing things. That's because the throw malfunctions half the time, which is why I switched to a shield. But I definitely would have died there if I hadn't been cheating. And the door was locked behind me, so, you know, I couldn't really escape. That's the sort of monster closet that you run across fairly often, and sometimes they regenerate, and, well, just have to live with it. But it's super obnoxious when you go to throw, and nothing comes, and you're sitting there like there's monsters coming at you, and you're like, I've got to wait for it to hover over to me, and it's like, there's nothing hovering over to you, you've just wasted your energy doing nothing. It's like, great, thanks. Oh well. Anyway, let's go back and talk to our bro. Broseph, the bro. If I can figure out which way is out. There, that's the way out. Ah! Might as well grab some loot on the way out. It's worth noting that this atrium has some really unusual staircases in it, but I don't want to stick around there anymore, so we're not going to talk about it. They're not unusual in that they're, you know, special. It's just an unusual layout because it's full of doubled up staircases and staircases that are on the inside of atriums in a kind of strange way. It's a cool layout. Now the question is, do they want me to walk back, or do they want me to take the teleporter back? I guess we'll take the teleporter. Wow, I got abilities. Oh yeah, they did reset everything. They didn't even save my character stats. I guess that makes sense. It would be a little bit of a shame if your character stats didn't get reset, because then you could just delete a save and keep harvesting characters. Keep harvesting character points, not just characters. You don't harvest characters in this game. So this is the load time on an SSD on a modern machine. And this is why I play Invincible, because this happens every single time you die even if the reset point is in the same room. That was actually a pretty fast one. Ready for plot? Probably gonna let this one mostly just play.
Is purely antithetical to every variant of the Hiss signal I can arrange. But how did Darling create it?
So she's asking how Darling created it, and the answer is he found an OOP and he just used it, like everything in this game. That one's a little bit special, but typical approach.
It's happening. After all these years, Dylan is here. But am I too late?
How is he? I need to know. He's clearly been affected by the Hiss, but it's different than any other manifestation we've recorded. Maybe what makes you so special is genetic. He was a prime candidate. Or maybe it's Polaris protecting him, something else affecting the situation. I need to run tests. He seems more in control, more present.
I want to see him. My brother.
More present than what?
Or is he?
Of course. Now, Marshall set up an HRA-warded cage to contain him. It's on the upper floor, up the stairs.
Okay, I need to go.
Jesse, be careful.
So there's a lot of assumptions going on here, and that's one of the things about games like this is obviously you write in the assumptions you want to write in, but I would never think to myself, oh, you know what, it might be genetic or something. Well, the simple fact of the matter is that the Hiss haven't... Okay. The simple fact of the matter is that the Hiss haven't shown what they do to people who are super, super overpowered. So my assumption wouldn't be that it's genetic. My assumption would be that people who are super, super overpowered get special treatment.
I found this token. Any idea what it does?
Ah, that is a jukebox token. Little bastards turn up in the weirdest places, like bad pennies. The Rangers use them to activate an old object of power.
A jukebox, I assume. Does it have any good songs?
Nope, just the one record. Hey, be careful turning it on, though. When it's playing, you get a free trip to the formation.
The formation? That sounds ominous. Why does it send you there?
The Bureau has been wondering that for years. I mean, it's just a pile of rocks built by God knows who, but... Well, researchers have confirmed it's in the same threshold as the quarry. Well, no one's ever been able to map a physical route to the formation from maintenance.
So it's in the quarry. You just don't know where.
Pretty much. We only send in annual expeditions to the formation now. Checkups, Salvador calls them. This year's team went in the day the Hiss arrived. Come to think of it, the song should have brought them back hours ago.
I can go in and take a look.
I'd appreciate that. The jukebox is kept just past the security booth over there. Just put in the token and enjoy the ride.
Not today.
I have to go.
Me too. You're not the only one who's busy, you know.
So I really am a fan of games about exploring, and this game could have been about exploring. And whenever I see something like that, I'm like, oh, you know, I really could have enjoyed a game that was just about objects of power being super annoying and you having to sort that crap out. It's just, it didn't happen. Well, I guess it sort of did, but the objects of power are really very secondary in comparison to this overwrought story about your brother and the Hiss. I thought isn't he up here? She said he was at the top of the stairs, right?
HRA production. They're already getting other survivors out of safe room.
I probably should have played through this part, and then usually what I do is I do a pass that is just a once-over to remind myself of where everything is, and then I reset the save. But I've been having a hard time with the saves, so this must be it.
What do you know about this Arish guy?
I heard some rangers saying he saved them in maintenance. They were attacked by a new kind
Woohoo!
of Hiss, and Arish got them out.
All right, but still.
This is an amazing room. Don't you think so? I think so. It's very cool how powerful it is just to stick stuff onto walls and roofs and ceilings and stuff. A simple change in texture is very potent, and in situations like this, it's a staggeringly effective way to make this room really, really work. And I really enjoy this sort of layout, and it makes me think that maybe this same idea could be used in a non, scary room sort of way. Like you could just use it in a general sense. I don't really know, though. I thought there was more to this room. Maybe I'm thinking of another room.
Marshall orders us
Either
to
way,
sit
it's
on
very
our asses
beautiful.
and then leaves? What's the deal?
She must have her reasons.
So that's my office.
Then she should have taken us with her. I need some action, goddammit.
Oh, come on. Maybe I should just stop, because clearly I have forgotten where I'm supposed to go. I mean, it tells me I'm supposed to use the token on the jukebox, but I'm theoretically interested in my brother, right? That's kind of the reason I'm here. Uh-oh. A flag. How strange. The fact that it switched over to a jukebox mission really goes to show you just how little they care about my brother as a mission, Ah, here it is. So this is just going to be a long cutscene full of a lot of bullshit, but I'll show it to you.
You are a worm through time. The thunders home distorts.
Where's your subtitles?
Comes white pearls, but yellow and red in the eye. Through a mirror, inverted is made right. Leave your insides by the door. Push the fingers through the surface into the wet. You've always been in there. You want this to be true. We stand around you while you dream. You can almost hear our words, but you forget. Through time.
So my big problem with their portrayal here is that, putting aside all of the story structure concerns, there is a lot of they're conflating the idea of mental illness and magic, and that's really kind of disrespectful. I'm not a huge fan of that.
You are a worm through time.
Shit.
The thunders home distorts you.
That's Dylan.
White pearls,
Can
but
you hear
yellow
me?
and red in the eye.
Oh, come on, Dylan. I'm here. I found you.
Into the wet. You've always been in there. You want this to be true.
Do you know who I am? You know me. Say it.
You are Dylan Faden's sister.
He's talking in the third person. Always a good sign. Do you know who you are?
Not Dylan. Trench and Darling made sure of that. I'm P6. P6. But I'm better now. The hiss made me better. Push the fingers through the surface into the wet. You've always been the new you. You want this
Can you
to
stop
be true.
that? Please. Not exactly the reunion I'd hoped for.
It feels good to say those words. I want to say them. They sound good. They make me feel good. Don't you want to say them too?
No. Fuck off, no. You need to help me get this thing out of his head. If he is still in there, if there is anything left, you
We
have
already
to
know
help
that
me.
when we do that, it kills them.
You came in through the hole in you. We let you in. You've always been here. The only true. A copy of a copy of a copy of a copy.
Stop it!
Orange peel.
Shit. Shit. He can see you. This is not safe.
We found Polaris together with my sister when we were very small, in Ordinary, in the desert, through the door opened up by the slide projector. But she didn't help when Trench took me away. She didn't give me any powers. All the powers are my own powers. She didn't help when they locked me up for years. for the song, time for applause. We build you till nothing remains. The air cracks and the truth will emerge out of you. You are home.
The Bureau brought the slide projector back here with me. And the Bureau did what the Bureau does. They used it.
Exposition.
They opened the door up to the hiss. That's the only thing I can thank them for.
There. There it is. We stopped the Altered World event in Ordinary when we shut down the slide projector. And now the projector's here.
This should be an emotional reunion.
Earworm is a tune you
You
can't
know, a
stop
devastating
humming.
reunion, but it just gets sidetracked.
Baby, just plastic. So safe. Nothing to worry about. Funny.
I welcomed the hiss. I let it in. To get rid of her. The hiss set me free. Polaris is using you. The Bureau is using you. You are a puppet.
You can almost hear our words, but you forget.
If we shut off the slide projector, maybe that will stop the hiss.
Your regulations.
Why do you
It's
think
not
the
too
slide
late for
projector
my
is
brother.
on?
You must see the truth for yourself, Jesse. Sister. The horrible truth about the Bureau. The hiss is the better option. Go to the Prime Candidate program in the containment sector. I have the keycard to get you there. Salvador wanted me to have it.
Wanted? Bullshit. I saw what the hiss did to Salvador. What it turned him into.
Okay, Dylan. I'll go. I want to see the truth for myself.
I'll go. But only to look for the slide projector. You can help me. We can end this.
You are a worm through time. You are a worm through time.
So there's a lot of potential in this. There's something truly devastating about the idea of catching up to someone and them not being them anymore. There's also a lot to say about, the difference between human crimes against humans and the kinds of magical crimes that happen when humans aren't involved here. They would have been an interesting twist if, in this game, the true monsters were the humans, in a game full of, magic teleporting ducks and universes that collide. It also would have been interesting to, maybe talk about the concept of insanity as it actually interacts with these strange and impossible events. But instead they lean back on it as a kind of brute force crutch. Oh, look, Dylan Faden is insane and goofy because magic made him insane. It's like, there are people like that. I've seen plenty of them. And it doesn't take magic, and it doesn't require you to... The game is not really going in the direction it should go if it wants to do anything serious. Instead, it's just going with the most basic setup that it can find, and that's really a disappointment to me. Anyway, Dylan Faden, after our emotional reunion of 5 seconds, gave us a lot of story about what we're supposed to do next. None of it is terribly interesting, but we're going to go do it. I'm going to do some stuff off screen for a while, and I'll see you back here for another episode later.